Right, okay, so rig rundown per se. Right, okay, rig rundown of the Y80. So I bought this probably 6 months back now, probably around March this year. I can't quite remember. And it was a pretty well stock 80, had a 2-inch lift, which has still gotten it, and rims and tyres, which have still gotten it. So they're a 285, 75, 16, so just a 33. So I'll flick to a photo here of what this thing looked like when I bought it. So since I've put some bar work on it, so gone for the Raslarr bar work, I think it looks pretty mint. I think it's the best looking bar work for these 80s. Gone from some Stedis. Got a winch in here, just got the Domin8tor Extreme. Had one on my old 105, and that went for a good 2.5, 3 years of winching out quite a bit of stuff, and never went wrong, never skipped a beat. So I'm hoping this is the same. People shit on them a bit because they're a bit cheap, but my old one didn't let me down, so I've gone back to them because they're, I think I got this for like 400 or 380 bucks or something ridiculously cheap for a winch. Comms, GME 2.1 dBi whip. So that one's hooked up to the XRS system in the cab. We'll flick over there in a second, show my in-cab controls and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty well it for the front end. I blacked out, obviously, all the chrome inserts, just some standard new lights in there, and outers and surroundings. The inner ones are factory from whenever they were replaced, if they were replaced ever. Side scrubs lead down to the side steps, all Raslarr. So yeah, that's pretty well the front end of this thing. Running 2 inches, probably a bit drooped now that all this bar works on it, as well, the winch and stuff. Probably sitting around 1.5 inch of lift, but yeah, not too phased. Seems to steer pretty straight. I'm pretty direct on the road. Now it's sitting a bit lower, got a bit more weight in the front end. It was wandering a bit. Now that could have been a wheel alignment issue, I'm not sure, but it is a bit better, although it is a bit heavier, so I'm not sure if I might want to put some bigger springs in there and get a wheel alignment soon. But yeah, that's pretty well it for the front end. We'll move on into the interior now, check out a few things that I've done in there, and then head on around to the back. All right, so here's the interior. Pretty well standard. We got black duck seat covers. I did have a steering wheel cover on it, but that kind of started to annoy me. RM Williams floor mats. That's pretty well it for the protection side of things. Coming into the driving position here, got the spotlight switch just there, so as well as the XRS system. So those two are there. I've used the adapter piece that comes, so you get an extension with a little block that feeds 2 males in, and I've just hooked that up underneath there. So you can't see any stuff. It's all sleek out of the way, just the system itself. So I've actually tucked up the XRS system just into the top of the glove box there. So you can see that one there. I've just screwed it all in there. So that's nice, clean and tidy. I've obviously got fire extinguisher down there, Haynes repair manual there. That's pretty well it for the interior side of things. I do want to get some gauges soon. Considering the JRP ones, I think that they're quite cool. So and they're also pretty affordable. So looking to get those soon would be the next mod for the car, upgrade for the interior. Other than that, it's all pretty well stocked. It does have this head unit that came with it. That's just a Pioneer. I think it's the doubled-in head unit, Bluetooth connectivity, all that jazz. And also did forget to mention, it does have the upgraded kicker system for the speakers. So they've been put in the door, also spaced out. That also came with the car. So they're great. Really improves the audio quality of this old girl, especially when you've got a 3-inch exhaust straight through, turn up the music so you're not listening to that drone the whole time. That's a bit of a panned out shot of the interior. And then moving along to a couple other things I may have forgotten. Right, I did forget to mention the twin stanos. So I just reckon they look cool. That's why I went for the twins. So that one's obviously plumbed into the airbox. I'll show you in a second. That one there, the second one, isn't completely useless. Yes, it is Bluetooth, AirDrop, whatever you want to call it. It is that. Although I do have my diff breathers, and I will be plumbing my transfer case breather into that one. The diff breathers are plumbed into there already. So it does have some purpose, but not plumbed into the airbox, not really functional per se. Right, so I guess this is the reason I bought the car. Obviously got the 1HD FT in it, the 24 valve turbo diesel, 4.2 litre. So pretty well stock. I haven't really done anything to it. I've popped the Radius Fab airbox into it, obviously pumped up to the Snorkel. That's pretty well it. I've rebuilt the starter motor, and otherwise I think everything else other than service and stuff like that, I haven't really touched it. So I might open it up in the future. I might do some tinkering to it, try to push some bigger power out of it. Although, I mean, it goes pretty well. I came from a 1.8Z. Naturally aspirated, this is a massive step up from that. And honestly, it's a four-wheel drive. It's not a race truck. It doesn't need to go ridiculously fast. I mean, it'd be nice if it pushed, 250, 300 down the track. But for now, I couldn't be happier with it. For those wondering, the reason I'm wearing these headphones is this is my little mic. I'm trying to record it. Hopefully this audio quality is a bit better. That's not picking up great, so we'll see when I come to edit it. If this works better, I'll try and mash it in. If not, I'll just use the audio off that. Right, so the rear end, kind of tying it off. I've done quite a bit here. So you've got the little wing protector, whatever it is. I just put it on there because it looks sick. Stedi light. This bar here is custom made. There's a guy up in Queensland who does them. His name's Will's Fab. I'll put his just here if you're looking at getting one. Pretty great bar. I mean, I've got no complaints at all with it. Really strong, holds up well. If you've got a 35, 37, 40, whatever it is. These are obviously just a 33, so a bit small right now. But in future plans, I'm going to put 35s on here at some point, I think. But yeah, can handle them, holds them really well. Great mechanism. So you got just a single swing away mount, and that comes off. And then obviously got a hydraulic there to hold it. That's pretty well it. I got spare under there for now. Obviously it's just 133, so I can have two spares should need be. There's Barry, obviously. That's pretty well it for the outside. Inside, again, pretty common. I think these are the four-wheel drive Super Center or Kings or whatever you call them drawers. So they don't have a badge on them, but they came with the car. I'm presuming they are just standard. That's pretty well it. Got a shovel wedged in between the back seats there, as well as a high lift jack. That's pretty well it. Pretty simple, pretty basic. I'll run you through the reason why I've got this thing here, and then take you for a quick run through of this thing, this red thing. Right, so the reason I purchased this was because when I bought this originally, I'll cut back to see if I can find a photo of this, what it looked like here. Hopefully that can cut in and drop in the photo here. Right, so that's what it looked like. I've patched it over, but it's still like not great. It's bog. Like I did a bog job because, who cares? And then there was a bit of bog I put in here where there was some rust forming, and it's already starting to come back a little bit in there. So there was a couple spots there, as well as they're the major spots, and then there was one spot of rust just gathering. I did a real shitty bog job. Just see if I can get that to focus. Come on. Yeah, just there. So you can see the inconsistency in it. That was just a bit of a patch. There was a hole in there, obviously. It's just been flicking off it for a while. The rear end's a lot worse than the front end of this car. It was used as a farm truck to dip tinnies and other things in and out of the water. So the chassis rails back here are pretty badly rusted, hence why that was all rusted, and the bit down there. When you go to the front of the car, it's not too bad at all. But that's pretty well it. That's the 80, that's the wide 80. I've been driving this thing around. It's been an absolute gem. Actually, other than the rust, I've got no complaints with the car. It drives really well, and I'm really stoked with it. So that's that one. Then moving on to this one, I guess. In the same video, we'll just make it one big video. This is the one I've just bought yesterday. I picked it up just dirt cheap. Couldn't resist it. Grandpa's spec again. Has some paint fade. I do plan on repainting it, as I said before. Otherwise, in pretty good condition. 40th anniversary, as I said, manual. So that's the interior. Got a steering wheel lock on it right now, just while it's parked up. But yeah, it's got a bit of fading on the seat here. Other than that, quite nice, pretty standard. Nothing really, none of this will really stay. I'll be taking everything out of that car as far as dashboard, cluster, all that jazz. But more importantly, you know, no rust. Not like if you go up into the guards, I mean, the gutter rails, I guess that's a pretty common spot to see it. There's just no rust the whole way along. It's a real clean example. So yeah, that's this. Today I plan on taking that tyre carrier off, taking some of the plastics off, taking some of the interior out, just starting to pull it apart. I don't plan on getting to too much, just a bit of playing around with the car, making sure everything's all good. If anyone's interested, I mean, I don't know, probably like 2 people that watch this video, but if anyone is interested, this has got a 1 FZFE in it with the manual. Now that is converted to LPG, but it runs really well. Like I took it for a 2-hour drive, didn't skip a beat the whole way. Just think it needs a cam chain. That's all it needs. I think that's what the guy said. So yeah, if anyone's interested in that, I'm more than happy to sell that. So let me know. Otherwise, I think everything else I'll be pretty well keeping on the car for now.